feel as though I owe it to him to stand up and tell the story. And I'm telling you, when this was all done, a number of the neighbors on that street came up to me and thanked me, because that house was a blight not only on our property, but the whole street was just, you know, didn't know where to turn. And they called the cops. They were there. They made arrests. It was, you know, but there's only so far you could go. So finally, they were out. They thanked me and my family. But in reality, if they knew behind what was going on behind the scenes, this is the gentleman that needed to be thanked. So, you know, here I stand before you guys, and I'm going to urge this board to look at this guy's record. And look what he's done for small business guys like myself who don't know where to turn. To have someone like him to go up and go in there and do the job in a cost-effective way, without hiring attorneys to go through a litigation process that may take months. And I will tell you, one of the guys that was in there, I was threatened. I was told not to go on that property. So, you know, he went right on the property and not a problem. And he actually turned. At that point, they had the upper hand. When he came on board, we had the upper hand. So I urge this panel to reconsider the vote. Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, yes, Gus Wagner. You said to call you Gus Wagner, right?
Well, it's okay.
It's okay.
You know, my mother gave me kind of a lengthy first name.
But a nice name.
I appreciate the opportunity to address you because I've assisted George through this process, and I've, over about 42 years, spent a great deal of time with some of the issues that are raised, in particular Corey. I had the pleasure, I'm not sure it's a pleasure, but the honor, I guess, at one point in time in another career to be one of the draftspeople for Corey. So I know a little more about Corey than maybe I should. So I thought I had a summary sheet, which I'll hold up so you can see that I believe you have, because it comes from your police department, of certain things that were called George Morse's background investigation. And on the Corey and sealed records, I would point out to you first that there are two different things, even though it's handled through Corey. A sealed record means effectively that what a court has done, which is seldom done, is looked at a factual pattern where that had ended up in some form of disposition that was not in the person's favor, and decided that in the interest of justice that'll be sealed, and that person will never be required to ever say they were charged with that crime or that activity whatsoever. And they do that very guardedly. It's, as a matter of fact, a fraction of 1% of the total applications that are ever allowed. And usually it involves something where it goes back to a person's youth, and the rest of their career, to a great extent, has been commendable and appropriate. And so when you look at 2, 3, and 4 on that list, and I won't mention them unless you wanted to have an executive session, or if you wanted it public, George has authorized me to respond to them publicly. But 2, 3, and 4 are all Corey protected material. In order that you didn't accept my word for that, because I, as you know, have indicated that I'm representing George, and therefore I hope that I'm saying nothing but what is the absolute truth of a circumstance, regardless of who I represented. I did take the liberty of summoning in Kimberly, I believe it is, Pacheco, and she works for the police department, and her job in particular is to make...
Can I just ask a very quick question? Did you say you summons people to be here?
Yeah, you can summons people to come to a hearing. Okay. And I felt that I didn't want to ask her to do it voluntarily because I felt that would be inappropriate, and that it was better to have this person come through. And Mr. Murphy, as I should have made my first remark, I would suggest to you and request of you that you recuse yourself from any consideration in this matter, and I'll give you the reason for that.